All right, in the last tutorial, we went ahead and created this spaceship. In this video, we're going to take a look at how we can animate this thing to move it around. And if there's time, we'll just start compositing this into footage. So for now, this is the video that we're going to be compositing into. A bigger part of your assignment will be to composite it into yourself. So here's a guy, he's kind of looking around and we'll have the spaceship fly around him. One of the things you'll notice is when I first opened it, this is actually a .mov file. So we need to convert this. So let's make sure that we have Blender open in our spaceship file. Up at the top, click the plus sign, go to video editing, and then click on video editing. Then go ahead and click on add, and then we're going to go down to movie. And here's my man looking around file. And I'm going to hit add movie strip. Now, because it's a MOV file, we need to convert it to an MP4. And here's the thing, make sure you're at 0 as well, because I don't mind if it's a little clipped, like if he starts there, because we need it as an MP4 for this assignment. This is actually one quick point I want to make is if you're a student of mine in class, I'm just going to convert this file for you. So I'm going to probably upload both if there's room on our learning management system, but overall, you can go ahead and just grab and download the file. Now, right now, this file is actually longer than 250 frames. See, here's frame 250. But honestly, I'm totally cool with us working a little bit lower. It's just about getting the exercise done, and having a movie clip that long just defeats the purpose unless it's for one of your personal projects. But for now, I'm just going to leave this as is so that it automatically clips it at 250. So we could leave it at 1920 by 1080 up here. We want to match the resolution to the video clip. This will just downsize the video, but I'm pretty sure if we go to that folder and I right click and I go to properties, let's see, and properties here, and then we go to details. It's 3840, sorry, 3840 by 2160. And my frame rate is about 24 frames a second. So what I will do though is I'll let it down res at 19 by 28, 1920 by 1080, but I'm going to leave it at 23 by 98. So that's the frame rate. So that looks good to me. And honestly, when I reconvert it at that smaller frame rate, I'm totally cool with it, because if some of you have a little bit less powerful computers, I have a super powerful cutting edge computer. It might be a little rougher. So if you want to, you can go to 720 by 480. I'm totally cool with that for your assignment. For your personal projects, you probably want to amp it up to something more 4K. So now let's export it. Right now it's in PNG format. We're going to do MPEG, so this will put it in MP4 format. And then we also want to specify a location. I have a folder, just video spaceship here, and I'm going to do man looking around. And then it became red because it's I don't know if that's set by standard, but I don't want to name it the same thing as the other one. So I'm going to do low and then resolution here. And then I'm going to hit accept. And so now we have our low resolution file. Now to actually change it to MP4, you want to change encoding container to MPEG-4. I'm going to leave it at medium quality. Again, this is more of a piece for your portfolio. I mean, generally, if you have a pretty powerful computer, go ahead and make this high quality. Leave it at H.264, especially if you're interested in becoming an animator or compositor. So up at the top here, we're going to go to render, and we're just going to do render animation. I'm going to pause the video as it goes through this. It should be pretty quick, but you don't need to watch all of that. All right, so here you can see it's finished rendering that same folder, and we have a file that's roughly 2 megabytes, and it's a lot smaller. And it doesn't look that bad, to be honest with you. All right, so back to Blender. Something else to notice is you want to always remove your file here, because when we go to compositing, it remembers that. And if you don't delete it, you're going to be wondering why inside the compositing section that the video isn't overlaying correctly. So let's go over to layout now. And this is where we have our spaceship, and we want to kind of start working on bringing in our well, I think we should start animating this guy. Now this could be a little bit daunting, so I'm going to go ahead and hit X here so we can see it as flat. And if you press G, you can see we can move our spaceship around. And what's cool is you can start to think about, like, again, if you go to item here, if this is closed, hit N or click this little toggle here. You can think about stuff like, okay, I'm going to start rotating my ship. Let's say we want to rotate it 90 degrees on X, maybe minus 90. And then let's see, on Y, we want to do minus 90 as well. And now we have a pretty nice profile view of our spacecraft. So let's go ahead and think about how we're going to composite this shot. So let's bring our guy in. So the first thing we need is, let's see, 1 is actually pretty good on minus Y. Maybe we'll go that way. And looks like my fin is off. But that adds to the character of my ship. So let's make this minus 90 as well. So I want this to sort of be the default position. So I'm going to hit Control A, and I'm going to reset all transforms. So now, actually, let's do... Yeah, it just looks like my origin is off. So I'm going to select my geometry, hit Control and C. Let's see, Control C. Let's do set origin, origin to geometry. Yeah, there we go. And that should center the origin into the ship, making it easier to control that. And let's go ahead and grab our image of the person looking around and set it on a plane in our scene. For that, we're going to need a camera. So I'm going to hit Shift A, and let's see. And I'm going to go to camera. And here's the camera. And we want to go to view. Let's see. Let's see. View. Let's see. Camera. Set active object as camera. And then what we want to do is, let's see. Camera to view. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And I'm just going to look through my camera for a second and just sort of position it like this. So here's our camera. Actually, we could probably do a good job of just adding a vertical split here. And we'll just make this our camera view. So I'm going to press T and N in here. And let's see, toggle camera view. And there's our camera moving around. So we'll just use this as sort of our camera view. And then under the printer here, our output is 1920 by 1080, 24 frames. That's pretty good. And let's see what else we need. Let's go down to camera here. And let's find background images. Let's turn this on. Now hit add image. And instead of an image, we're going to go with a movie clip. And then I'm going to hit open and go to my videos, spaceship, and you can see here is my MP4, and I'm going to hit open clip. And you can see now we have we're looking through this camera, you can see it moving in this view, and there is our clip. Let's just kind of lock this for a second. Let's make sure that your opacity is set to 100% so we can see a little bit better in our shot. And let's see. All right, so the next thing we want to do is kind of zoom in on this shot here as we're working. So go ahead and hit N or open this up inside this view and turn off camera to view. And now we should be able to zoom in and out. Let's lock us, let's see. Yeah, so let's make sure though that we're at least in our camera view. So let's go back to selecting our camera. Actually, let's just right click on this and we'll just work in one view. So join areas, and I'll go this way. And what we'll do is we'll just make this local camera. Here's our camera here. That's good. And then view, and then we'll just go to view, cameras, and then set object as camera. There we go. Oops. Let's do that one more time. Set object as camera. Make sure your camera is selected. And so another thing is you don't want to rotate out or you'll lose that view. You'll pop out. So this is a very annoying feature for Unity, or sorry, Blender rather. I just did a Unity video, forgive me. So anyway, so you can go to viewport and then hit camera, and that'll bring you back in. And then if you click off, it undoes that, which is, so the other thing is just always have numpad 0 handy. You can press 0 twice, and you just hold shift and middle mouse click. All right, let's go ahead and animate this. So I'm going to set it outside of the frame like this. And let's bring this down. And I'm going to go to frame 0, and you can see has our animation sort of moving on the timeline. So here on 0, I'm going to go ahead and hit I, and I'm just going to do location. Now, if you recall, I believe it's under, what is it? Object. Let's see. Animation, and then do change key set. You can just do location and rotation. And now anytime I press I in the scene, it'll do both, and I won't have to continuously hit, select it from the key menu. So let's go to 0 here, and then maybe we'll do all 3. I'm going to hit, I'm going to do that one more time. Object, animation, and then change key set to location, rotation, and scale. Because I'm thinking maybe as our ship flies in, let's say, we're 24 frames a second here, so let's go to 24. It flies in at 1 second about here. I'm going to hit R, just kind of rotate this down. Hit G, hit I to key that. You can see our ship flies in. He's impressed. And then maybe we'll do we'll have it go down here to like 45 here. I'm going to hit R to rotate it. We can also just bring up these settings here, kind of play with the rotation a little bit. And he's always, I don't know, maybe we'll just keep, it's just weird that I should have picked a different thing that was not so, like he kind of flows in like this. He's not always looking offset. Sorry, I know that maybe it's not as funny as we might think. And then this character zooms down, and maybe we have it, let's see, scale and rotate here. And we hit I here. And that way we're just kind of masking that shoulder area, which has a lot of movement, which is going to maybe be a little bit annoying. And then he looks over here, and then we hit G and move it this way, and then we hit R, and then we maybe rotate it this way, and then we rotate it like this, and then we hit I again. So it's like looking around, and then let's see what happens if we zero all these out. Just kind of like zips off. All right, so we got a good chunk of masking here, about 140 frames. All right, so there's our animation. I'll go ahead and hit spacebar. See, we got this going on here. And hold shift and middle mouse click to zoom in. And he goes off, and then he's just in bewilderment. This guy just can't believe what he sees, and he's a little bit slow to the draw to pick up on that stuff. All right, let's go ahead and save this, and then in the next video, what we'll do is we will start the compositing process.